Next, we need to look in the agency relationship at how the agent gets authority. There are really four types of authority. Well, okay, three types of authority and one that we fake as authority, but there's four things we have to talk about with authority and an agent. The first is very obvious. There's express actual authority. So this would be detailed instructions that states exactly what the agent is and is not allowed to do. So if I decided I wanted to have boxes taken from my office and shipped to California, I would, if I'm using solely express actual authority, have to go into extensive, excruciating detail. I'd have to say, agent, turn, walk over to the boxes, bend over, bend your knees, lift the boxes, open the door, walk out the door, turn the corner, walk to the elevator, and that would just be ridiculous. So express actual authority typically represents the overarching goal or objective that the principal has for the agent. That is typically clearly stated, and so it's express actual authority. The next version is implied authority. Implied authority says that I don't have to fill in every blank. So when I say I want you to get those packages from my office to California, that gave you express actual authority. Implied authority says anything necessary reasonably to accomplish what I stated to you is acceptable. So you're going to get those boxes downstairs. You're going to contact some kind of shipping agency. You're going to have me pay for it to get it shipped there. If there's a deadline as far as timing goes, you may need to pay more in order to ensure that it gets there. But it's all reasonable based on what I told you originally was the overriding goal. Now, if you sit out at the front of the building and you call a limo company and you get your significant other, and you have the limo company take you on a drive from Pennsylvania to California, stopping in Las Vegas for an evening, that would not be reasonable. So that would not be implied actual authority. That would be something else. The third type is apparent authority. So express actual authority is the express intention of the principal. Implied authority is the agent's reasonable view of what they need to do to achieve the principal's objectives. And now apparent authority is the view of third parties who are interacting with the agent. A third party who has a reasonable belief that the agent is allowed to perform the actions that they're performing will win against a principal, will be able to sue and win against a principal, even if the agent does not have actual authority to do what they've done. So let's take an example here. So let's say I've given you the credit card. You've used the credit card a number of times at this hotel to make reservations for me. And so you show up at the hotel and you say, I need to make reservations for Mr. Hildebrand. I'd like the penthouse suite. I want everything delivered and so forth. I have no intention of actually going there, but you've done this for a rendezvous that you have. Well, I'm probably going to be responsible for that bill because I've given you that aura of authority from past experiences with that hotel. Now, if, however, you show up and you say, I'm the front man for President Obama, and he and the First Lady want the top hotel room, and they want everything, no expenses spared, and here you go. If they've never dealt with you and there's no communication from the White House that this is actually going on, that would not give that third party the reasonable belief that you had authority to do what you were doing, and therefore they would not find apparent authority, and the hotel would lose that particular case. So express is the principal's view, implied is the agent's view, and apparent is the view of the third party. The fourth one that's not really authority is called ratification. The first three letters are rat because the agent acts like a rat and does something that they're not authorized to do. Ratification, however, is where the principal decides to go ahead and accept the consequences of the agent's actions. Now, it's important to note the agent's actions had to be unauthorized in order to use ratification. Ratification cannot be used by itself for something that was already acceptable. The principal is taking an unauthorized act and converting it into an authorized act.